Hey guys, this is AC Locke here with Disruptor Manufacturing and Phantom Window Works here. We're talking today about the Phantom Spirit Glide Deluxe, and this is one that we have right here. This is your quick start video. So you've just ordered this product, you've gotten it in, you've unboxed it, and what we're going to do here is we're going to show you what you need to do for some of the light assembly that you'll need to do when you get this out of the box and you get ready to set up. Well, I've got a little table here and I've sat the Phantom cart down. You'll notice that there's a nice little kickstand on these that when you sit it down, it rests on this nice little kickstand so you can still get your hand up underneath your handle here to bring this up and down, and that's very robust. But you're going to want it in this position because when we ship these, they have to ship in a box. It's a narrow box, long, and we want to make sure we get as concise as possible into that box. So there's some things that we've had to take off so that they don't get damaged during shipping. So one of those things here is your front foot for the front of the cart. It's very, very easy to put this on. This is going to be stored right here next to the cart in some of the expandable foam packaging that we have. You're going to take this out and you're going to go ahead and reattach it to the cart. So where you're going to find the hardware for that is actually in your cart. Nestled in between the cartridges here was a nice little bag. And in this bag, it's got some goodies for you. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take some of these out here. We've got the pressure gauge for the cart. We have some of the hardware, which we're gonna need right away here. We've got some of the different bracketry and stuff that goes on the side of the cart. Some of the plumbing that we're gonna use. Let's go ahead and get the rest of this bracketry out here. And then we got something fun, all right? So let's skip here to the fun stuff. I'm just gonna sit this right here below us on the table. And the fun part is right here. So with each and every one of these carts, you get your own Phantom Window Works Yukon Outfitters mug. This is an insulated mug, the great top and everything else. It keeps ice for like 2 days. I literally had some coffee in one of these the other day. For an entire day. He had made my coffee at 6 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the evening, it was still warm. It's very, very cool. But we give these to you because these carts do have a cup holder and we want you to be able to utilize that cup holder. But it's also our gift to you for purchasing one of our carts. Now, so in your hardware package right here, there's several different things that are inside of here. I'm going to go ahead and open this one up and make them like a Rubik's Cube. I'm going to dump everything right onto my hands here. And you're going to see 2 of these Gilmer style nipples. We're going to put them right here next to our Gilmer valve. Okay, we have a washer there. And you're going to notice that you have several sets of hardware like this. These are 1/4 inch or 7/16 bolts. And then we give you a lock washer and a flat washer with them. And you have quite a few of these to be able to put the remaining parts of this cart together. But we're going to go ahead and take out 2 of these. We're going to grab our foot, place it right here on top of the cart, and now tools that you're going to need. So the only tools that you're really going to need to put this cart together is a 7/16 open-end wrench or a 7/16 socket like this one here with a little socket driver. Or if you have electric battery power tools, you can go ahead and add it onto your electric battery power tool. Now, if you have an electric battery power tool, normally they'll have a setting on the front. I've got this Ryobi, and on this particular one, I'll set it on 18. This is why. This is what's called a clutch on these. I don't want to overdrive or over-tighten any of the hardware that goes on here because we've used a thing called a riv nut or a rivet nut on these. And these riv nuts, if you come in and look right here, you'll see right here, they go in like rivets, but they're threaded, and that's what a lot of this stuff is going to mount to on your cart. So you don't have to worry about having long fingers or holding nuts and bolts or washers or anything else. This is going to zip in easier than a piece of IKEA furniture, I promise, okay? But we want to go ahead and have the clutch set on this so that when you're tightening it, you want it to actually break, and you'll listen to the sound I'm going to make here. Now this is not a hammer drill, okay, or an impact wrench. That's the clutch actually slipping so that we don't over tighten these bolts, okay? So we're going to take these and we're going to drop them into our foot. We're going to go ahead and align them with one of these riv nuts, and you're just going to put them in by hand. They'll go in very, very easy. Just get them in as tight as you can by hand. Make sure you're not cross-threading them. Go ahead and take the other one, tighten it in by hand. Okay, and you notice here we can put the foot here. Now, you'll notice on the foot it's slotted. So if you come over here and look at the slot, we have different configurations of this cart with different weights. We make this slotted so that we can adjust this. For the Phantom Spirit Deluxe, you're going to go ahead and bring this foot to the highest position right here. Okay, so your slot is above the piece of hardware. You're going to go ahead and take your screw gun, and you'll notice when it got to the right tightness, the clutch clicked in and it doesn't go any further beyond that tightness. Almost like, like one of the wrenches that you can set, that will not over tighten like you use for automotive, okay? So we can go ahead and put those in. That will break, or you can simply use your ratchet. With your ratchet, let me just warn you guys, you want to go ahead and get this about hand tight and about a half turn past hand tight. You don't want to over tighten these. You only want it tightened enough to where that split washer that we're using, and I'll show you what a split washer looks like. If you actually come up right here, we'll lay it right here on the aluminum. It's called a split washer or a cut washer because it has a little cut in it. And that's made to mushroom out or sandwich out. And that keeps your bolts from vibrating out, okay? So it's real important to go ahead and install your foot here. Once you've installed your foot, then you can go ahead and bring your cart up. And so you're just gonna go ahead and support the cart, bring it up, set it up on its foot, and you'll notice it'll have a nice pronounced lean to the front. That's because as these cartridges here fill with water, okay, they're past the axle line here for the wheels, but it does put a little bit of back weight on the cart, so we want this cart to lean forward. Some of our smaller carts, like the simple DI cart that we have, or some of the two-stage carts that we have, you can go ahead and adjust that foot for it to have a little more of a lean backwards, but we want a pretty good pronounced lean forward on this piece of equipment. Now, you'll notice here on the front, and we left these off for a reason for shipping so they don't get damaged. You have 4 different ports here. Now this is one of the big deals about a deluxe cart. As you'll notice, a lot of our competitors, you hook your garden hoses up directly to the cartridges. Well, that's great if you know and you're very, very familiar with the piece of equipment, but what we've done here is to make this very user-friendly, is we've come in and we have actually engraved into the main frame here of the Phantom cart your water in, your pure water out, and your wastewater out. Okay? And this is 3/4 inch thread, and you can hook garden hoses up to this and stuff like that, but you purchased the Phantom Spirit Glide Deluxe, not the Phantom Spirit Glide Light like we have. This is the Deluxe. So, when you purchase a Deluxe product, we like to make sure that you get some niceties. So we've included these nice little Gilmer fittings on here that are quick connects for hoses. So as you purchase your hoses for this system, you can just go ahead and quick connect them in. That helps quite a bit. So you're going to take your first 2 quick connect nipples here. Okay? Male quick connect to female thread. And you're going to go ahead and put one on your wastewater out. And it's just going to come down hand tight. The gasket on the inside will add some tension there. You're going to put it on your water in right here. And now the next thing that you're going to do is we've got another part here. And so this is a Gilmer style female quick connect with a female thread on it with a valve for turning on your pure water and turning off your pure water. Because we don't have a valve on this, so when you hook up your pure water hose, and like our Phantom Window Works hoses already come with this quick connect on the end of our ectoplasma hose that we use, okay? You're going to go ahead and add this right here to your cart. And we're going to go ahead and screw this on hand tight. Okay? And kind of turn it sideways towards the back of the cart here. And now you can see where it's easy to turn on your water and turn off your water. And you can see why we didn't add these to the cart during shipping, because these would break off from people hitting the side of the boxes and stuff like that. Okay? Now, the 4th item here that we're going to go ahead and add to the cart is we've got your actual pressure gauge that comes with these. And so this is a nice little small 1.5" pressure gauge, okay? And what this does, this allows you to see the pressure going into your RO. So these ROs are 75 PSI ROs, and they don't really start making reverse osmosis water until they're closer to 75 PSI. So they have an operating range of about 60 to 75 PSI and above. If you start to creep past 75 PSI, you get to 80, 85, 90 PSI. What that means is that your RO is starting to get scaling on the outside of the RO, build up, and you want to back flush the RO. So this will be your indicator when you need to back flush the RO, okay? So all you need to do with this is just take this is a 1/4 inch fitting to a 1/4 inch, and you're just gonna go ahead and bring this in and thread this in. And like I said, get it hand tight, which is about upside down on these, and then bring it around a little past hand tight to where it's actually sitting correct, so that 0 is here, and then it travels around clockwise to give you your pressure. So right there, out of the box, you've assembled your wastewater out, your raw water in, your pure water out, and your pressure gauge. All right, so another thing that you'll need to install, which is some of the stuff that makes this a very, very cool cart, is on this particular side of the cart, we've got our hose hanger. And you can notice here again, we'll point out the riv nuts. You've got these 1/4 inch riv nuts here and here, here and here. And they're on both sides of the cart because you have accessories we need to mount. And so what we're going to do is you're going to go ahead and take your paper out, take your aluminum parts, and we wrap them in paper so they don't get scratched up. I'm going to set this off to the side, and you'll see you have 2 of these hangers. Okay? Now they're identical. They're exactly the same. One's going to go up top like this, and one's going to go on the bottom like this. The holes will be sticking out. One's on top for the hose to go around up there. One's on the bottom for the hose to go back down through it. Okay? So they'll look like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and grab some more hardware. Okay? And I'm going to grab another one of these 1/4 inch 7/16 hex head. I'm going to go ahead and put a cut washer on it. I'm going to put a flat washer on it. That's 1. And we're going to go ahead and do that again. 2. And for each side, 3. And we're going to get a 4th one. And this will take care of the items that we have here on this side of the cart. And so again, you're just going to want to hand tighten these. So we're just going to slip that in there and come right up here at the top and align it up and go ahead and get this going hand tight. Okay, bring another one. Just going to go ahead and line it up with the hole, pass it through, hand tighten this. Again, this is some assembly, but these are things that protrude off the side of the cart that would definitely get damaged in shipping. We want to make sure that we don't get those damaged. We're going to take the second part here. Now this one points up because the hose goes on top of it. This one isn't going to point up like this. It's going to point downward because the hose will come around the bottom side of it. So I'm going to put my hardware through. Hand tighten. Grab the other hardware. Come in. Hand tighten. Now if you're using a screw gun set on 18, you're not going to be able to reach these. Okay? So these you want to get on here as hand tight as you can. Make sure they're nice and snug with your fingers. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and take our 7/16 socket on our small ratchet. Make sure we have it going the right direction. And we're going to go ahead and tighten these up. And again, like I mentioned, get it right to where it stops and then give it about 1/4 to a 1/2 turn. Again, I'm going to go ahead and do it until right about there. You can tell it's really tight. Okay, it stopped, and I'm going to get about 1/4 turn. Okay, and that firms that up. I'm going to do the same thing up here. Make sure these are both hand tight. I'm going to go ahead and lightly ratchet these down. Get it to a point where it meets, and then about a third turn. And again, this is by feel. You don't want to gorilla grip it. These don't have to be super tight. That cut washer is going to keep them from rattling loose. Give it about a third turn. And now you've installed here your hose hanger. And you're able to take your water-fed hose now and go ahead and wind it up on the cart so that you're not having to carry it to the job site. This cart really helps you not have to have 3 or 4 hands, if you know what I mean, okay? All right, cool. So I'm going to go ahead and spin this cart around real quick so that we can go ahead and add some stuff to the other side. And you'll notice on this side we have the same 4 rib nuts. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we have another paper wrapped aluminum packet here. And as you unwrap this, you'll notice the 2 parts are not identical. Okay? The 2 parts are not identical. Okay? One has a flange that mounts to the cart and is shaped kind of like a C. And what this is your pole holder, and the pole goes through this, and this is a stop at the bottom. So when you put your pole in it, it stops and it doesn't hit the wheel on the bottom of the cart. And then this is your top pole holder that goes on. Okay? So just like the hose winders on the other side, we're going to go ahead and get our hardware together for this. So you'll notice that we're going to need another 4 sets. Okay? Cut washer first, flat washer second, cut washer first, flat washer second. And so we're going to put the top one on first. We're going to go ahead and add our hardware. Come up here, match it with the rib nut, and go ahead, and it should go in very easily. Do not cross thread these, because these rib nuts are aluminum, and you don't want to cross thread. Now, worst comes to worst, if you cross thread it, you can very easily drill these out. You'll just have to have long fingers, and you can take these same 7/16 quarter bolt combos and just go ahead and put a nylock nut or something like that on the back of it with another washer. It's not the end of the world, but we do put these on here to make it very easy for assembly. Just remember, they're aluminum, don't cross thread them. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and grab our next one and add it right here to the cart. Just get it hand tight. Hand tight. We're gonna go ahead and grab the bottom here, and this is gonna go right here on the bottom of the system, and you can see this gives you a stop so that your pole doesn't drop through and hit the ground. And we're gonna go ahead and screw this one in right here. Grab the second set of hardware. Screw this in. Go ahead and grab our wrench, and again, we're going to put it on here, and we're just going to get it just to that snug point, and then about a third of a turn to make sure it's tight. Get it to snug, and then a third of a turn to get it tight. And that will be plenty tight. You'll notice on these, to come in close, that on these holes, we've gone ahead and put in real nice rubber grommets on these. These will fit just about any size pure water pole that's out there. Again, just go ahead and get them to snug, and in about a third of a turn, get it to snug. And then about a third of a turn, and you're able to drop your poles in here, and these grommets will protect your poles, keep them from scraping and not looking nice. So guys, it's the Phantom Window Works Spirit Glide Deluxe. And if you need any support on this, just give us a call at 407-900-2868, or you can find us on the web at disruptormanufacturing.com, and we hope we can sell you a lot more Phantom Window Works products to serve you as great as this car.